that game shows these days have become kind of corny. It's usually like, hey, press a button and you win $1 million. So I thought of a new game show. It's called Survivor Wisconsin Edition. And what you do is you start in Milwaukee, and you have to be in a Subaru with license plates that are from Illinois and bumper stickers that say things like Hillary 2016 and Jesus, I am cholesterol, and rats give you clogged arteries. And then you have to drive all the way up to Sheboygan, and if you make it alive, you win. So Wisconsin is up north, and it's cold, and the Packers like to do ice fishing. But the Vikings are from Minnesota, where it's cold too, and they like ice fishing as well. So they said, well, let's have an ice fishing contest. So the Packers and the Vikings went out to this frozen lake, and they both set up like their camps, right? And on the first day, the Vikings caught 10 fish, and the Packers didn't catch any. And then on the next day, the Vikings caught 15 fish, and the Packers still hadn't caught any. And by the third day, the Vikings had caught 27 fish, and the Packers still hadn't caught any. And the Packers said, how in the world are the Vikings doing this? They must be cheating. So they sent someone over to see what they were doing. The man who they sent over came back and said, they're cheating. They cut a hole in the ice. Lately, an unusual thing happened. A 49ers fan married a Vikings fan, and so they were both cheering, and the man who was the Vikings fan said, well, I love my Vikings, but I love my wife more, so I'm going to try to be a 49ers fan for her. So he tried and tried, but no matter what, he couldn't cheer for the 49ers. So he went to the doctor, and he said, doctor, how can I become a 49ers fan? And the doctor said, well, there is a way, but it's an experimental procedure, and it could be dangerous. I'm going to have to remove 1/3 of your brain. And the said, well, I love my wife, so go do it. And the doctor was halfway through. He had gotten the brain out and was about to cut it when the man woke up. And the doctor said, wait, you have to go back to sleep. I didn't put in your brain yet. But the man didn't hear him because he was too busy cheering for the Packers. So, in terms of parties, which I love, Einstein was at a party, and he walks up to a woman. And Einstein is sort of a shy guy. He likes to get to know people before he meets or talks to them. So he walks up to a woman and he says, what's your IQ? And she says, 240. He said, wow, that's high. We can talk about quantum theory and all sorts of things like that. So they talk for a little, and then Einstein gets bored with the conversation, and he moves on to another woman. And he says, what's your IQ? And she says, 150. And she's very proud of that. And he says, okay, we can talk about politics and trade affairs and all sorts of things. And then he walks over to a third guy. And he says, what's your IQ? And the man says,